Hello and welcome to another episode of the NAmen Podcast. The regular season just finished. It ended up with a banger of a super week and a banger of the day with so many games that we are all tired right now. So let's just get going with the show. My name is Andrea. I am your host for the day, and today we are joined by Arsh.
Hi, I'm the same person I've been for the last 24 episodes of this. I don't really want to introduce myself. My voice sounds like shit because I screamed for 3 days at LCS. I went for 3 days in a row because Delphi and Elaine were here, and yeah, it was really fun. Yesterday was the final straw for my voice. 100 Thieves completed the miracle run, so the whole time I was screaming to anyone who would listen in the entire audience about how Busio is my number one baby girl. And I made that very clear because Busio fucking smurfed it yesterday. He was so good. I am gonna continue. I'm Church of Busio today. Unironically, I'm actually just here instead of Delphi, but like I genuinely agree with her.
Okay, then we're also here joined by John.
Hello, I'm John, former EG intern, now Dignitas contractor. And I said it earlier, but Dignitas won another game. Let's go. It's a good day for me.
And
True.
Maya.
Hello, I am Maya. I am one of the four Golden Guardians fans. Therefore, I was very mad about the same thing that has made my colleague on the podcast happy because Dignitas managed to lose to TSM and then beat Golden Guardians, and that made me break a lamp in my room, for which I now need to reimburse my roommate $20.
What,
Did you actually?
bro?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
No
I
way.
had an
She a
incident
criminal,
where
dog.
I took this lamp, and this lamp was used as a vehicle to sort of release my anger. And in doing so, the lamp was not arranged the same physical configuration of atoms as it once was, which of course is to say that I fucking smashed that thing.
Dude,
All I'm hearing is
Golden
Dignitas
Guardian's gonna
diff.
bomb out of playoffs, and it's like reports of a bomb going off, and
No, you can't say that.
uh,
Well,
it was a metaphorical one. No, I actually was also pretty sad about the GGS dig loss. Okay, so what happened was we were there and we're like, okay, we're probably here late because there's gonna be a lot of tiebreakers, right? And I was like, guys, the five. I was the only proponent of the five tiebreaker scenario. I kid you not, in the building. All the staff, all the
Yeah,
I
casters were like,
mean,
shut the fuck up.
please.
Nobody
because
wants
we
five
wanted to go
tiebreakers.
home.
We want to go
We wanted to
home.
go
And everyone in
home.
the audience was like, please, Arsh, we want to go home. And I'm the only one there, like, please, five tiebreakers. So GGS losing to Dig lost the five tiebreakers, and I was very sad. Um, very depressing for me. I really wanted that to happen because we didn't end up going out for dinner anyway because three tiebreakers was too much. Everyone went home. So I was like, why not just have five and we all stay till midnight?
I
But
love
we would have
Okay.
gotten home.
Honestly,
At, we
I'm
would have
like,
gotten home at like
I'm
2
I'm
a.m.
somewhat, even though it like directly disadvantaged my team, I'm somewhat glad we didn't get five tiebreakers because like if you're on the East Coast, the third tiebreaker was like finishing up at like 1 a.m. and I could barely keep my eyes open. So I was
It was
like,
really late.
okay, like yeah, yeah. I was like, so I have a bunch of like Twitter friends that live in Europe, and you know what? A lot of them will do is that they will watch the first game and then they will go to bed. And today I told them, like, take my word on this, go to bed, wake up. You're going to be like 7 a.m. in Central European time, and there will be LCS for you to watch. And lo and behold, I was right. So I was like, wow, that was very long. So I have a ton of respect for the casters that needed to stick through that.
All right.
Okay, well, now we're talking about the Super Week that we just gone through. You guys were there. I wasn't there, and I was like exhausted at the end. Uh, what was your biggest surprise of this week? Anyone?
I can go.
Wanna go?
Yeah, sure.
Dignitas won again.
True.
Of course, of course.
Look at this.
I
Oh wait,
no,
this.
uh
I have
Okay,
my
but unironically, oh, sorry, go on.
I have my Dignitas poster. It's actually really. I don't know if
Let's
they
go.
posted on their socials, but
it's a
the
really cool
poster looks
poster.
really cool.
Oh, so yeah, someone told me about it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I think yeah, Elaine told me they were giving them out. And
Yeah, they were giving them out at the.
looking really cool.
A lot of teams give away like little posters and stuff for their teams.
I
I've got
see
the
the CLG
CLG,
one.
I've
Yeah,
got
that
the
was
CLG
the
one right
very
there.
front
That's
one, right?
really,
The
that's
green
really
one right
cool.
there. I previously had a different team's poster up there that was giving out signed posters, and I had signatures on it, and not up there anymore.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
I
Arsh?
don't know. Did I cut ties with any LCS org recently, Andrea? No, no.
Oh my god. Okay.
Could
Yeah.
be any LCS
Moving on.
org. Anyone.
Oh.
We don't know.
That the game was really fun. Okay. Like,
Oh, it was a banger. I really enjoyed the we did everyone did like a fight chant, and I saw that LCS posted it on their Twitter, and that was a lot of fun to do.
Oh, that was one of the best parts of the day.
That was a highlight for sure.
I'm just happy Armut
It was
had a
like
post
so
game
cool, like
for my fantasy points.
watching from home. Uh, it's like watching from home. This was like one of the few weeks like watching LCS where you can hear the fans, and I was like, that is so cool because like I could like almost hear some of my friends' voices too. Like in 100 Thieves games, you would hear someone cheer, and I'm like, ah, yeah, that's probably Delphi.
Dude, it was so funny. There was times when like CLG games, it would just be like the crowd be dead silent, like be something super like we're like holy, like anything could happen. And then Numi just CLG! I'm like, bro.
I
John is
I
laughing because
don't
that's
listen to
exactly how it
sound,
was.
so-
She would
It happened,
wind
like,
up
it
for it.
happened like 10 times.
She would
It was
she
so
like
funny.
she gathered her chi. She was like it was so funny. I mean, I did the same thing,
No,
to be
and
clear.
like
I did the same thing.
it was really crazy because so for those of our viewers who may not know, I went to a lot of the games in Worlds and therefore I was not watching them on broadcast. And apparently what people would say is that like if you'd watch the group stage games on broadcast, like the crowd was like deafeningly loud, like whenever something happened, and it was almost desynced. And I was like, oh, come on, it cannot have been that bad. And I was like watching like this week of games, and I was like, wow, okay, that crowd is loud. Like it's not packed arena at Madison Square Garden loud, but it was loud.
Yeah, that was just because our 2 rows of friends this week, we just had
I know it's
we
crazy.
had 2 rows in the back. We were doing all the talking. We were so much louder than everyone else. It was like the NACO casters, like all of our friends, just everyone just screaming random chants, both sides of chants. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I think everyone literally just played both sides. We did not care. It was just fun to be fun.
Okay, I mean, I gotta say that I came into this week as a CLG fan. I came into this week and my team just lost to EG with a sub and to Dignitas
No, but
the
that
previous
sub
week.
is your goat.
Yeah, my goat Tommy, but like, come on, bro. They lost to EG without Jojopyun, and they lost to Dignitas, and I'm just thinking, oh hey, we're not making playoffs. That's great.
I was also
And then they
thinking that.
go-
I'm not gonna lie. I did not think
And then
CLG
they
would make it.
go 1-1-1. How you guys? This is the encapsulation of the CLG fan experience of this spring. It's like I literally never know where I stand with this team. It's like 1 week they are just insane, and the next week they're absolute garbage, and the next 2 weeks they decide to be good. The next 2 weeks it was so horrible. I have never experienced anything like this before. I honestly I hate them so much.
You should try being a G2
I
fan.
love them
That's pretty much what it's
so
like.
much. No, thank you. But no,
Based, Andrea.
I mean, Contras had such a good week. I'm just so happy for him. I honestly, on the last day, I was just like, God, we just need Flacos to win a game and they make playoffs. And then they decided to no, we're gonna win a game. We're gonna fight for the top 3. So like that was just this week was pretty good for me as a fan on that aspect. I know some of my friends did not have that luck. Maya and Elaine, who's not here right now, but
No, this,
Ichigo in 03 definitely was not in my book
They didn't
either.
go 0-3. They went 0-4.
Oh wait, thank you for
4.
reminding me that. Jeez.
Oh my.
Oh,
yeah, my
that's-
bet-
collapsed,
my
man.
bet with
Oh my
David
God.
Szajnuk, I'm like, we were we literally like we were like, yeah, okay, bet's over. Like, GG, I'm the GOAT. We're like, yes, okay, I won the bet, David. And now I'm like, oh, I gotta start reading up on this song, man. Like, I don't know. It's looking bad for my bet. It's not looking great.
I don't remember what the bet was, gonna be honest.
Bet was
You're supposed to
basically
sing something?
I said like halfway or like 3 weeks in, whatever, like the second week after Gory, basically. I said like, okay, GGS is actually good. Like legit, this team is playoffs easily and like potential title contenders. And then David was like, nope, no chance. And I was like, okay. He was like, they're not even gonna make playoffs. So I was like, okay, they definitely are making playoffs. So then we're gonna set the bet there. He's like, oh, they might make 6th. Let's just say if they win 2 games in playoffs, then I win. So now I need them to win 2. But I don't think they can.
No, they can. They can.
They can. They 100% can.
Who are they
who are they playing? The loser of Fly.
We're prepared.
Loser of Fly 100.
We're 100. They
Dude,
can win 2 games.
I think they can win 2 games against FlyQuest. It's hard though.
FlyQuest is not losing that.
Wait, really? Andrea,
Yeah.
you want to make a bet?
No, I don't want to make a bet. FlyQuest is not losing that. Come on.
Then make a bet.
No, I'm not gonna... Okay, what do you want to bet?
I don't know. Let's bet dignity. I'll
What the...
I'll tweet something that you
I
tell
would
me
like
to tweet
to...
if I lose, and you tweet something that I tell you to tweet.
I'm too bad at this. I could never give you anything weird enough to make this work.
But this is... You can outsource it.
Okay, I'll ask Delphino,
Just ask Delphi. I wasn't gonna say something. Just ask Delphi.
Okay, fair.
This is like so losing for me because I have to the objectively lower the lower placing team has to win, and I've got way more followers. But on the bright
you're
side,
gonna lose
I tweet unhinged shit all the time, so nobody will notice.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah,
It's like it's a normal tweet for you.
I hope because I think that if GGS goes against 100 3-0s them, but I think they might go 3-2 against FlyQuest. So
you never know. You never know.
I think they can win 2 games. Let's be optimistic. But yeah, you're not in a good spot right now.
I'm sorry. Can we take an interlude real quick? I'm not gonna edit this out. I've been texting John. We have a little podcast chat. I've been texting John over the course of this podcast that we've been recording. You can see me turn to the right. I've been saying, John, get louder. Please speak louder.
I'm literally
this
shouting.
dude is getting quieter and quieter
I'm shouting.
over the course of this recording. I can't.
I'm literally shouting.
We're attacking John right now.
I'm losing my mind. Okay, sorry.
I'm literally shouting right now. Ashley's like secretly complaining.
Maya, do you think Golden Guardians can win 2 games?
I do not think that, unfortunately, because they will who are they? Who
the
are they
biggest
facing?
GGS Coper in the world is not on my side.
They face the loser. Wait. Yeah. Okay.
Thieves.
If it was the loser of C9 CLG, I would still have faith because CLG can be really good and they can be really bad at the same time. So okay, maybe we can catch CLG on a bad day, just like we did in summer of last year when I remember Licorice played Poppy for the first time since 2018, and that was a lot of fun because he owned I forget what Dokla was playing. But that was fun because I'm like, oh, for the first time this split, since they acquired River, GGS looked like they know how to breathe oxygen. And that was neat. But obviously they lost in 5 games. And everyone's like, all right, cool. They went 5 games in a series they had no business going 5 games to. Cool. And I'm like, all right. Yeah, no, that's fair. And by all intents and purposes, we were supposed to be 4th seed this split, and I thought, okay, I still think we're gonna lose every game, but at least we'll go 0-6 instead of going 0-3. And because esports is weird, you'd actually prefer to see your team lose 6 times than lose 3 times. And that obviously did not happen, and now we are stuck facing the loser of FlyQuest or 100 Thieves, and both of those teams will be very angry about losing to the other. So
yeah,
maybe they can win 1 game.
I was kind of like, don't let my baby girl Busio hear this. But I was low key. I was hoping that CLG would win in the last game because
Mm.
while like I was hoping that a little bit for my bet, right? Because if C9 was facing CLG, they thrash CLG. Or like, you know what I mean? Like if FlyQuest facing CLG, they lose, and then CLG goes and face GGS, and I was like, GGS can take 2 games off of CLG, right? That's good for my bet. But that's also worse for 100 Thieves, so I was so torn. But I guess this is good. 100 Thieves will have their free
Numi,
title incoming.
Numi in chat. I was hoping CLG would win their last game.
No, I was fine with them losing that one. Not gonna be lie. Like,
I'm glad they lost it, just so
I'm glad
Numi
they lost that one.
could eat a pepper on broadcast.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my
oh,
god.
yeah,
That's
wait,
true,
no,
that's
no, no.
true.
Hopefully.
I forgot about that
Nui,
one.
Nui does have a bet from the beginning of the split, which may or may not be paid off. We do not know. But
We do not know yet.
it was supposed to
Soon.
be that
No, I
she
don't
would-
hate you, Numi.
she would eat a pepper. So if now that CLG is placed 4th, there is a possibility that Riot requires Numi to eat a broadcast or eat a pepper on broadcast, not a broadcast on pepper.
I hope and
Can't wait
pray
to
it
see it.
happens.
I hope
Can't
they
wait.
make her do that.
I mean, yeah. Okay. Well, we have something really special prepared for today. We're going to do our version of All Pro, whatever that means. Everyone's gonna do one team, and it's not gonna be like traditional pro from everyone. So we're just gonna find out. Like it's just gonna stay and find out what we're doing because I don't even know, to be honest. So why don't we start with who do I want to start with? Arsh,
Me.
you go
Ooh,
first.
yay.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of the all pro list, because okay, honestly, I think all pro lists are kind of weird, right? Like all pro lists or like awards, I mean, they're like cool as like you can recognize players for their skill, but like when people base that as like, oh, this is the player we have to look out for going into playoffs, I always think it's weird. Because the player I always refer to is Caps, because Caps is the best player ever.
The
And
goat.
like if you look at Caps in
Biased.
regular season and you've never seen him play before, you're like, this guy's fine. He's like maybe the best mid laner, maybe second best mid laner, whatever. But if you look at him right before the playoffs and you're like, I think he's gonna be the best. Because like at the end of the day, what matters is how you do in playoffs. You're like, okay, I think Caps is probably gonna be the best mid laner in EU, no matter how he did in like the week 2 game, right? Like that's kind of how I view it, right? Like who are the players I'm looking at as like playoffs defining, right? Like who is gonna win their team the title? Who is going to be the story of the championship? So I have Fudge in top lane, Blaber in jungle, Jojopyun in mid lane, Prince in bot lane, and Busio in support. I feel like Fudge Blaber will be covered extensively by someone else.
Probably.
So I'll be on the Jojo Busio train because I feel like those are the 2 more spicy picks. I feel like Fudge Blaber
Yeah,
and
for
Prince
sure.
are like,
I think you have to explain
if you
the
think Fudge
Jojo
Blaber
one
and
for
Prince
real.
aren't the best players in their roles, I think you're like smoking some shit you should send me. But Jojo
I
and
have some
Busio
opinions,
are
but-
like a little bit. So I think Jojo, the reason I think Jojo's so good is because Elaine has indoctrinated me, but also
Wow.
he's an insane laner. Like his stats in lane are psychotic, and he's the only mid laner that like when you see these interviews by players like Gory, Vikla, Emenes,
Mhm.
they consistently give respect to Jojo, right?
Mhm.
They consistently say this Jojopyun is really good, and his trajectory has been insane. He always kicks in BO5s. He hasn't been playing from the stage, and like that's important to note. Like you can't just be like Jojo's looked really bad for the last couple weeks. He even changed his name for one of the games. Like it's really weird. He started going by Ryoma.
I mean, that was his best game, though.
That was his best game. He should change his name back. But like
It's
it's
time
not
for the name change.
it's not really a fair comparison. Like he's got COVID. Its teams are like team has COVID. Like it's not really a fair thing to be like that's the same JoJo we saw in like week 6, week 7, whatever, right? Like this guy is insane. I think he's the best mid laner, and I think EG does not have a lot of firepower anymore. Like they had this like incendiary nature. I've talked about why I don't love the EG someday FBI because I feel like when you have inspired JoJo, you want this team that's explosive. And someday in FBI are good. I like them, but they're not explosive players. But I think JoJo is just so good that I think all of EG's performance is on him, and I think he's gonna define like how well they do. Especially because they're lower bracket. He has a lot of fighting to do. And then Busio had the best week of his career this week. This dude played so well. He had a Rakan masterclass every time he locked it in. I think he played Thresh one of the games. Insane. They're just little things which you see him do where you're like, oh man, oh, this is really cool. Like, there was the flank in the bush on Rakan. He had a flash on Thresh where he just like sidesteps, wins the fight. He had an insane week, and the way he's improving is really impressive. I seriously think that a big part of why 100 Thieves looks so much better is because Busio is like starting to look super comfortable. So I'm just hoping now that during BO5s we get to see Azir support or some Carrier-esque shit, because like there's a reason that everyone hypes this guy up as like a baby Carrier, right? Like there's an actual reason for that, and I really want to see Busio pull that out, which is why he is my support position. All pro. That's all. That's my spiel.
Yeah, you sound like you're representing two people who aren't here, to be honest. But that's good. That's
They-
good.
I spent 3 days with Delphine Elena. My outlooks on certain players have just changed.
They have
Yeah, you
hard indoctrinated you.
Guys,
Yeah,
Delphine
they
poked
have
me with a
they have
needle. Can anyone,
imbued
like-
your soul.
They did something,
what?
bro.
Yeah, there was some. She just injected me. Delphine Elena injected me with some. I don't know, some like copium. I don't know.
The Busio
Busio
code
copium. I don't know.
right into the jugular.
Yeah, that was.
Jeez.
I genuinely believe this is not.
What
me,
are
like,
the odds do you guys think about of Jojo making All Pro actually? Because I don't
100%.
think he
it's
should.
like 100%.
I don't
I
think he should.
literally think like it's trolling if he doesn't make it.
I
Like,
don't
I
think
don't
he'll
think-
be
realistic
All Pro.
All
Yeah.
Pro.
I think that
Recency
he can
bias is
make it.
clouding your judgment.
I
Yeah,
think
I
that
don't
he
think
can
he
make
should.
it, but like
Yeah, he's probably gonna make it. But like
Yeah.
3.
maybe like
most.
the third
Yeah.
position.
Look, I think LCS LCS mid pool is just like not our best role, and it hasn't been. So it's like,
No,
yes,
but
Jojo
for
has
Yo-Yo.
had a bad
Honestly.
split, or like not. I wouldn't say bad. He's had a funny split. He's had a funny split, and
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
But that said, I don't know if I can name 3 like players that are better than him. I'm like, and I am super down on Vikla. Like I think I am the most down on Vikla out of any like of our like people that I know.
No,
And I think that's what
I'm
this-
more down on Vikla.
Yeah.
I
Okay, no, but-
I think if you are down on Jojo for like his up and down performance, you have to be more down on Vikla, because Vikla has been more.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think I think Vikla has had so many games, or okay, no, so many is stretching it, but he has had his fair share of games where like he's either completely inting or and like FlyQuest is just so good that it sort of masks that, right?
Yeah.
And I think like that's why people just don't care. And because like I agree with Arsh insofar as like EG goes as JoJo goes, and like JoJo's deficiencies are a lot more visible because without him, like no one keeps EG afloat. You had this like at some points last year
Inspired,
where like okay,
but, like, yeah.
yeah, but like I think like the meta doesn't favor him. Like you can't carry games on Sejuani. Like, and I say this
I
as
mean,
like a
He's-
Sejuani
sorry about
enthusiast.
this. Juanito didn't just do that. Because-
Juanito.
Okay.
To be
Juanito
fair-
was carrying
to be
the
fair,
heck out of games on Sejuani.
Contracts carried a game of Sejuani where Emenes was win trading.
Okay,
I have
okay.
a lot
Keep
to say
your
about the
copium.
Emenes
Keep your
game later on,
copium.
but yeah, I think like last year you had these games where like, oh, okay, it's a JoJo happy game. Sadly, I mean, unfortunately, it's 30 minutes and now Danny has shown up. Okay, he wins a fight. All right, he's got a pentakill. We can all go home now. Yay, nobody cares.
Yeah,
All
definitely
right.
they're missing that
FBI
part.
just doesn't do it. Yeah,
They're
exactly.
missing
And
that
like
part, in which
FBI
Danny just
FBI doesn't
comes
do
online
that.
and wins the games.
Would you
So-
say
Exactly,
that
right?
FBI lacks the je ne
So-
sais quoi?
Yeah, we can. And like that's what Vikla has in Prince. Vikla has like these happy games and it doesn't matter because Prince is like, all right, buddy, you can go home now. Let me just like pull out the Zeri and I'm gonna like get a pentakill and we can go.
Let me
night
go
night."
crazy a
Right?
little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think like Vikla is getting less scapegoated than Jojo is. But I think like Jojo's been better. And he's also like he's had some games where it's like his bad performance is like marred by like some unfortunate circumstances. Like obviously his illness comes to mind, But then there's also the game against C9, I remember, in which like Emenes managed to get like 3 crits at level 4, right? And then there's one game in the first round
Oh, it's true.
robin
No,
where
that
he
was
just
just the
got like
C9
mega
systems at
unlucky.
work, actually.
Yeah, no, I think that's just skill issue.
Yeah, that was C9's
Yep.
crit systems. They were just
True.
they hired a crit coach
Okay.
and they taught him how to crit. Like that's just a skill issue.
Just skill issue.
Okay, but yeah, we digress. That I think
It's okay.
Jojo
Yeah,
not being top
I
three,
just wanted
yes.
to instigate. I want to instigate because I actually do not think Jojo should be top 3, but
That's fair. That's
and
fair. I
It's
just
valid.
disagree.
It's
on that.
valid.
Elaine is gonna listen to this and she's gonna stop talking to me, but it's all good. It's all good.
Someone clip it and send it to
Maya,
Elaine.
Maya, what did you
Yes,
prepare for
all
us
right.
today?
I actually need to go back and look at my list. Okay. So
Okay.
I did like I did my all pro like in a similar fashion to Arsh, where I did not do them like entirely seriously based on like, oh, who is the best player. I did mine on who was the most fun to watch. Okay. And I
Mm-hmm.
picked Licorice, Blaber, Emenes, Prince, and Vulcan. All right. So I'll just go roll by roll. I think like everyone knew that I was like never gonna not pick Licorice, right? Like he could be on perma
Fair.
silent duty all split, which he kind of was, and I would still pick Licorice. But like there's like a fact based backing to this too, where it's like, okay, Licorice has been on like Renekton duty for the entire first round robin. Then he was on Scion duty for the other like second round robin. But even like with that considered, he was still pulling out like the crazy tech on some of these. Like, yeah, like the Lee Sin, of course, everyone is like, no one's gonna let him forget the Lee Sin top in which he was down 30 CS to Armut, and like his only takedown in the entire game was like a fountain dive, which was hilarious. But I think like you had the Renekton where he like rushed Radiant Virtue, and then you had the Scion in the last game where he's like building Mikhail's Blessing. Like there's just like
Yeah,
so many of these like fun little
I
things
was
that he does.
excited. I was excited by Licorice. Excited is not, I don't know, maybe not the word I'd use, but I was certainly agitated by the things the Licorice would build
Oh my
and do.
God.
I would certainly gain
Yeah,
energy.
sure. Let's
He was
go with
gaming.
that. But
He was
yeah, like
gaming.
yeah, yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Like here's the thing, okay? Like one, I was never gonna not pick Licorice, but like him doing this stuff just like makes it so much more fun. Because like he's the reason like I play tanks, all right? Or like that's why like it's my favorite play style. And like I like this because like he did like these crazy things where he just like made tanks fun. Like he just like did wacky shit on tanks, and like even when it wasn't wacky shit on tanks, it was like, all right, I will build tanks in a way that like feeds my teammates, and it makes them win. All right, and like I think that like that's really cool. So that was fun to watch. Um, and my yeah, exactly. Like top lane doesn't matter. You build whatever you want. Like it's
Top
open.
doesn't matter.
Um, yeah, so top lane does not matter. And I say that as a career top laner who has my I have like 3 games in every other role this split on like 150 top lane games this season. Anyway, in jungle I have Blaber.
Of
And I
course.
think like Blaber is yeah, surprise to nobody.
Yeah.
Blaber is like the jungler that I think like was the most rebellious toward like okay, like the Sejuani Vi Maokai meta for like a long time where everyone just perma slamming these champs and he's like, no, I'm picking Rengar and there's nothing you can do about it. Like that's that is very Blabber to me, where he's like, I do not care if everyone and their moms are playing Sejuani. I am going to pick Rengar. I'm going to pick Hecarim. I'm going to. I don't even remember what he's doing, but like he just makes them look so crazy and like actually very strong. And
Yep.
it's like I would not have said this if they had kept Diplex alt split, because when Diplex was around, Blabber was just like, okay, you do your thing, have fun with that. And he turned into the boring jungle. But like the moment they got Emenes, it's like this thing was reignited in him where he remembers like, oh yeah, like I am the best NA jungler of all time. And I can do this shit and like I will make it look good, and it's just like so many flashbacks, I guess, to like some of his most career defining years where like in 2020 when he had Niski on like the all powerful C9 roster, he would like pull out set jungle and like be stomping on that. Or in 2021 with Perks where Um, I'm struggling to remember a pick from that era that he would pull out quite often. I
Nice,
was like,
probably the
stuff
Wukong.
like that like reminds. Yeah, sure. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think he was still he was like an early Wukong adapter before it was very common. But oh, of course, the Olaf. How could I forget the Olaf? Like he would like
Yeah.
slam Olaf so often, just run into people. He had like the Xin Zhao. I still remember like the Xin Zhao at Worlds 2021. Like everyone knows I don't shut up about Worlds 2021. You had like the Olaf in Worlds, sorry, the Xin Zhao in Worlds 2021, where he got a quadra kill at 4 minutes. And I was like, once Emenes came back, I was starting to see flashes of that. Like, and I was like, that is very fun. Like that's psychofish stuff that I love to see.
Yeah,
So
I think
there's
Blaber's.
that.
I agree.
I really
Emenes is
like that you put Emenes in
Emenes
your
is
list.
next up.
I,
I'm sorry.
I think Emenes is one of the players that I didn't expect to like as much as I like him. But like he's just okay, Emenes like has this attitude and has this like presence inside the game and this sort of like this personality. I didn't have no idea what to expect when Emenes came. Like I'm not even like a fan, but I'm interested in what he's bringing. He seems
I
like a
liked
really
him.
fun.
I liked Emenes the moment I saw the why lose thing on Twitch. That was so funny.
I mean, I like Emenes also because
Yeah.
he's like the Tomio cute hashtag Tomio cute, of course. That's
It
the
was so
Tomio cute
funny. I was
revolution.
talking to I can't it was like Fudge and Sven at the after party on like Thursday at LCS, and it was kind of just like quiet, whatever. It was like a little bit like it was starting to die down, so I was just chilling at the C9 booth area with some of the players in the manager or whatever, and I mentioned like, yeah, it's so weird seeing like because you see MNS around and I'm like, hey, dude, you're playing great, good job, right? Like, and you know he's not English isn't his first language, of course, right? So I'm like, I like do like hand symbols. I'm like, good job. Like, I'm not like, saying anything too complicated. It's nervous, right? I'm like, good job. You're playing great. And even then he goes like, he's like so shy. Dude curls up into a
Oh.
ball. You go, good job. He goes, and he like walks away, and I'm like, dude, it's okay. And it was so
No,
funny.
but
I was
like
telling them, I was like, I
it's
was so
so
surprised at his
endearing.
personality. It was after the rumors,
Yeah.
right? I was saying like, yeah, I was so surprised at his personality. They were like, no,
Yeah.
he's so mean, and then they're like all joking. So like they were even saying like he's
Exactly.
so
It's
shy.
really toxic, really toxic.
Yeah, and like here's the thing, there's like rumors in like every league he's played for. It's like, oh, he was toxic in OS. Oh, he was toxic in Korea. Oh, he was toxic in XL Academy. And you're like, oh, okay, he's gonna show up and he's gonna be like the biggest diva. But he's like genuinely like seemed like the most wholesome like player that I've seen in a while. Like there's like this picture of him at Fairy Court, like
Yeah, that was a really
nestling
cute
No,
a
picture.
yeah, dude.
nestling like a guinea pig in his arms with like the fairy crown and the fairy wings. I'm like, oh my god, he's so
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not
no, but
surprised. Like with C9, like they fixed Jensen,
Well,
so or like Jensen stopped being as toxic as he was in the beginning of League. So like with MNS, I'm like, yeah, the C9 system's just working.
yeah, like yeah, but okay, yeah. So like for one, Emenes is like really fun to root for because he has this like underdog story going for him, which is like okay, it is the most like tired sports underdog story ever. Where it's like, oh, I was an alcoholic and now I am going to like be on the path to redemption. But like it's still like fun because it's like at least to my knowledge, it is somewhat new to esports, right? It's like this is normally something like a trad sports thing. But like so for one reason why he's fun to watch is that, and the other reason is that this guy is a psychopath. Like there's a lot of stuff, like there's a lot of this that's shown in his games, but like the Inking Jace last game was like the best. Like I remember LS tweeted about it where he's like, I don't think I've seen like this useful of a 310 Jace since Nuguri. And I look back at the damage graphs and he did more damage, like he almost did more damage than Berserker that game, which is insane to me. Like being 310, so that's that. My bot lane is Prince and Vulcan. I think like Prince is pretty self-explanatory. Like he is
yeah.
probably the best AD carry, contested with Berserker, of course. I would give it to Berserker, but that's just biased. But like I think Prince brings like this freshness to the LCS where he's like, one of this like new class of AD carries that isn't going to be like, okay, you guys just do whatever you want without me. I will show up to team fights at 30 minutes and win you the game, right? Like he likes to play on a razor's edge, and I think that's really cool about him. And my final pick is going to be Vulcan, and I think like Vulcan is a player that like probably is. I would like honestly say he's staking a case. He's staking claim to like being second best support in LCS history. Like, because like he's always so solid, and the
Who's even his
criticism
competition for
against
that?
him,
Does he
Afro,
like have competition? Oh,
What?
I
Second
guess.
best or best?
I
like
feel like
Afro, I
I'd
guess. Like,
personally
Arsh
not put
doesn't
Afro
respect
and
in.
Core.
history.
I mean, like Afro played like until like 3 days ago, Afro had like the record for like most LCS games. So like there's some credibility that you get from that. But
The longevity.
like that aside, yeah, exactly. That aside, I think like Vulcan's like main criticism used to be like two things. Like one, he always like flukes international. Like he always manages like he stinks internationally, which like I just think is not true. He had like a subpar MSI, but like there were circumstances with EG that happened like at MSI that obviously like did led to him not having a great performance. And we casually ignore the fact that he was smurfing at Worlds the previous year and did all right considering the overall suckiness of North America at Worlds in 2022. And the other thing is like he is like a Leona one trick, Leona Nautilus one trick, which like is also a criticism that I saw against like him a lot. And like I thought like that was really dispelled this split because like he was on Nami duty for like 80% of the split because like FBI loves like slamming Lucian. And I think like this is something that dates back to his 100 Thieves days. It's like he is such a Vulcan enjoyer. And this drives Elaine insane. This drives Arsh insane.
It
Arsh
drives
insane. This
every
drives me
person who
insane.
enjoys watching League of Legends. Please stop picking
Yes,
Lucian
yes, it
Nami.
does. Yeah,
Lucian
but
not
like
Okay.
not good
even on
anymore.
Nami, like I think Vulcan is the closest North America has had to Hylissang in that like he will be playing Nami and he will flash in and bubble three people, and I'm like, I love to see something like that. Also, he has the best Twitter game of any LCS pro by far. By far, it is not even close.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, that's my all pro list. I'm like, which players are the most fun to watch?
thank you much, Maya. I was about to speak in Spanish. Jesus. I'm very
Say
awake.
mucho.
Yeah, I literally was. Oh my god. Muchas gracias. Young, what did you bring for us? Tell
Alright,
us.
so I made an actual all pro, and then I was told, oh yeah, we're only gonna highlight a few players. So I changed it up. I made an
Damn.
LCS all dig list.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
Who's gonna be on this
I'm
list?
I'm going. This is going the full bias of the LCS all dig list of for the best team in LCS. They're gonna make worlds. Seriously, this was a fluke. You saw how competitive they were. But
Why
yeah,
is
first
there
we're gonna start off.
always big representation in this podcast? Why is there always
We're
someone
gonna
shilling for
start off.
Dignitas?
Wait, did they have a
Today-
did they have a single win at the end of the first round robin or no?
Yeah, they did. I think.
Okay, because I was gonna say if they
No,
went
wait.
0-9 and then
No,
3-6, that's actually
they
not a bad
weren't.
improvement.
Wait, I think they went 0-9. I'm not sure.
No, they did. They went 0-9 and then 3-6.
Yeah, they went 0-10.
Yeah, they went 0-9. They went 0-9. Yeah, no,
So,
that's an
Improvement.
so
improvement.
if they go
So
0-9 and then
3-6,
3-6, the next split is 6.
6-3, 9-0. It's the progression.
15-3 split incoming for Dignitas.
Exactly. Yeah, but up in the top lane we have our Turkish goat, Narmut. He's
The
amazing.
goat.
He's great.
He
He got.
smurfed so
He
hard.
got
Oh
smart
my god, he
yesterday.
smurfed
sure.
so hard yesterday.
Dude, that play
If you
will
saw
live in
Focus
my
Off it's
nightmares.
insane. He had
It will
having
it will live
Armut
in
on the
my
team
nightmares.
means that they're always -1 ban because every team's gonna
Yeah,
ban Nar. They
that's the
ban Nar
spirit.
every game
True,
except
actually.
like one.
Wait, if you hear me out. If you get 5 OTPs on a team, you'll always get 2 of their OTP. You'll always get 2
Yes,
of their
draft
picks.
advantage. Draft advantage. It's
True.
amazing. You should add
True.
Bolulu to that one.
Genius.
Yeah,
Get me on
up
a
next on my
team.
No,
all
like
dig list.
this
Up next on my
is
all dig list, Santorin, the
Arsh.
jungler.
Sorry, John. Can I interrupt you for a second? Like
Yeah, no,
what
go for it.
Arsh
Go
said
for it.
about what Arsh said about like the OTP thing is like so relevant, and because this is also concerning Jensen, who happens to be on Dig right now, where it's like in 2018 when C9 made the last to second run, there was like this stretch where Jensen would just like slam Zillion every game, and teams would do nothing about it because they could not ban Zillion because then he'd like get first priority on like the meta picks, and so they had to leave up Zillion. And there was a stretch where I think he played Zillion 7 games in a row, and they went 7-0.
They won every single game. I remember that. I was watching that.
I'm ready for Bjergzillion
Please
to
no.
return.
Please no.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
thank you.
Back to my LCS all dig list though. In jungle we have Santorin. Bit of a down split, but that's because the team was not performing well for the first half. But if yesterday showed, like, he still has it in him. He'll do amazing things in summer. Mid we have Jensen. 8 years of is it 7 or 8 years at Worlds?
I think it's 8.
8 years. All right, so we're going for number 9. It's gonna happen. I'm not coping. I
That's true.
swear.
That's true.
ADC. So now that we're in the bot lane, we have some choice. There's Tomo or Spawn. I went with Tomo because he was brought in for the second half and he performed. I think that he did pretty well given the circumstance. New team, new environment,
True. Actually, true.
and yeah, I think he did really. He's doing really well. So sucks that he's not playing with Diamond anymore and NACL. Shout out to the NACL boys. But
Yay.
yeah, dig for Worlds. And then lastly, for support, there's Bio or Ignar. I chose Bio because this is like a me personally thing, and like I know my girlfriend Ashley knows, and I'm probably influenced by Ashley. But if you saw the like my beginning of season list, I am personally really low on Ignar, and the amount of times he gets caught out doesn't help. Like he reminds me of Hillisang, but not the flash in 3 bubble Nami like Maya was saying Hillisang. It reminds me of the flash in and die Hillisang.
I agreed with you previously. Like at the beginning of the split, I was saying that like Bio should just keep the starting spot because I thought his split last year was really good.
Yeah.
But the way so like I started reconsidering how good I thought Ignar was because like the week that Core JJ and Yeon went on Dive, Core named his like who he thought were the top 3 sports, and it was like not supposed to include him, and he said like Vulcan, Sven, which is like obvious, and then Ignar, and I was like,
Really?
That's
Ignar.
such a Corey answer. That's
I was like,
just
Ignar's
that's
so
just the
but like
Corey
after
way.
that, right? Like I started paying attention. Like, is Ignar actually good? And I'm not actually like I don't think Ignar had a bad split. Like since he got here, he wasn't bad. I think I don't know. Like I'd like to see what Tomo and Bio look like. I'd be surprised if they didn't try it, Grims at all at any point. I don't know if Bio's signed. I don't know how that.
I don't think they should do Tomo and Bio. I think they should do Tomo and Diamond. Like, I
Yeah.
I
have
think
like
they
a
should do
faint
Tomo and
memory of
Diamond.
Diamond saying he didn't want to play LCS. So if
I
that's the
will.
case, then I'm sorry?
No, nothing. Continue.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have a faint memory of Diamond saying that he did not desire to play LCS the split, in which case I get it. But if not, I feel like that would like really be the best move for the team because I feel like Diamond is like probably the best out of Dignitas' support pool right now, and he has this incredible like 4 year long synergy with their AD carry, who happens to like have taken to the LCS level just fine. And it's like I think what was the last we saw of Tomo and Diamond in LCS? I want to say it was like that miserable Fly 2021 roster.
I think it was
It was
either
Fly
that.
2021.
Yeah,
I think it
exactly.
was
And I think
that.
like because of that, people are down on them, but like everyone on that Fly 2021 roster was like screwed by like the circumstances. Licorice, obviously, I will defend this man forever, was not as bad as he showed. Jose Deota was not as bad as he showed. He had a pretty decent 2022. Palafox is, a bubble top 3 mid laner in LCS right now. And Tomo and Diamond, like, who knows? Like, they probably are better than what they looked like in that split.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be very surprised if we don't see roster changes from certain teams. And I assume. I
Agreed.
mean, that'll probably be a podcast
Yeah,
episode
okay.
down the line.
Yeah,
But
probably not
I
right
think,
now.
yeah, I think there are definitely options.
Okay, that was a very interesting one, John. Not gonna lie, I really like your take.
Thank you.
Um,
I only do bangers.
Yeah, pick the
okay, so
best
I'm gonna give
players.
mine like super fast. So I basically did an all but four teams pro list, and I picked some players from the but four teams that I am interested in seeing
Wait,
in the
bottom
next
four teams like.
split.
Oh yeah, okay.
Non-playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
not playoffs teams. So I have Summit in my top lane, of course, because
Whoa, is
he's
he like an up and coming like rookie? Who is
no,
this guy?
I'm just interested in him
I
because
mean, it's
I
his
love
second
him.
split ever in LCS, right? So
No, and players obviously none of these players are like new, but there are players in the bottom teams that I'm more interested in seeing than the others. And to be honest, I just think that Summit didn't get a fair split. I don't think he was bad, but like he was I don't even know.
He
No,
for sure did some things.
he did some things, okay? He was doing stuff, so like he was not just there. And also I think he had really bad synergy with Piosik. Let's be real. Like they did not work well together at all. And this week, like his game versus EG, I actually was so happy to see him. Like was doing so much in that game. I just hope we see so much more of that Summit.
Yeah, he could like be an
Yeah.
MVP if he like really worked.
Yeah.
I feel like.
yeah,
Yeah,
the Planet Stay. He's still the best laning top laner in the league. Yeah, I think Summit can still do really well, and I hope TL can manage to figure out what they want to do next, so that we see him shine more. Because he's a player that's really fun when he's doing well. Like when he was the MVP, he was really exciting. So I want to see him again.
Sure.
And then I think from the bottom four teams, the jungler that I was the most excited about was Bugi, and I was probably one of the few people that actually wanted to see Bugi because everyone was putting him bot, like the lowest tier, and thinking he was going to get replaced by Sven's Karen. And I just thought, no, guys, you have not seen this guy play. And like with Bugi and Maple were on, TSM was getting wins that they shouldn't have gotten, right?
Yeah.
Bugi is amazing. He was on my fantasy team. He got me hella points.
True.
Eh,
Thanks.
He
that's
got
the
me
most
mad
important
points.
thing. See, that's the most important thing. That's what we think about in here. Like, so I'm really
Bugi,
excited to see
el orgullo de Latinoamérica.
Orgullo Latinoamericano, yeah. I put Bolulu in mid lane because I don't know. I think if you bring a player to a team and he draws two target bans, I think you just immediately say, "Oh wow, damn,
You're the
draft
goat."
advantage. Let's go." Just like he's the goat. I mean, he draws Soy and what was it? Velko's van. Like that's crazy. I mean,
Also,
give him
like,
a
he
raise.
wasn't bad on the other champion.
No, he was really good.
Like he was LCS caliber.
Yeah, his arm was
Bolulu.
almost as good as mine. So
I expected him to
Almost.
do well.
almost.
Yeah, and then I have for my bot lane I have Yeon, which is like not controversial or anything. I think Yeon has a very bright future in the LCS. It's unfortunate that Team Liquid did us the way they did, but I don't think that should discourage them from going forward with Yeon. I think he's a really good player, and he has shown that he's really good. So I'm just excited to see him. I hope TL really can pull it together because I think this player is good enough to like show better than what was shown. And finally, I put Fleshy, and this is what's probably the most biased one. I just love Fleshy. He's so nice, and I think he also had some really great moments, and also he earned me so many fantasy points. Oh god, that
Real.
guy earned me so many fantasy points.
Actually, was
He's the
so
goat.
fucking. He was in
Yeah,
so much content.
yeah.
He was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny.
That was so yeah, and with the handshake thing. Oh my god, no.
Just the goat. Like he was so funny.
Yeah, I'm really happy of Fleshy, and I hope he can show better performances. I think he definitely has the talent. So I'm not biased here, just because he's very nice and cute and all that.
I will say
That's about
the,
it. That's my
the Yeon thing kind of
He
made me
is
think
also
of
the
it like
only support to have played Pike this season.
true.
he tried his best.
The
What were you saying, Arsh?
the Yeon thing. I think like I know we're not really talking about it, but I just really that Yeon stays on TL.
Yeah.
I have this sinking feeling that like TL is gonna be like, oh god, we're drowning,
I don't
quick,
think
get
Yeon is what
Unforgiven,
Bolulu.
get him
Oh,
in
I
I don't
here.
really don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they're gonna switch their team.
About
Like between
I
spots.
listener. Oh,
this is a
oh wow.
this is a
That's
very
interesting.
different thing, John. I'm also down
Yeah.
to make a bet on this, but I don't want to take time away from the
Oh
podcast.
my god. We're all the bets. Okay. Yeah, it's
Do
getting
not
long
bet, guys.
here.
I have lost $70 from betting.
That's true.
Don't be
Maya
like
is
me.
Only
very
70, not that bad.
Yeah, but
no,
I thought you
please,
were way
please
more in the
don't
hole.
I
encourage.
thought you
Don't
were more in
encourage
the
it.
hole.
Guys, we cannot allow this.
Guys, we are not
the-
promoting gambling.
we're not promote. Absolutely.
We are
Do
not the
gamble.
other 7 League of Legends podcasts sponsored by gambling. Unless a gambling site wants to sponsor us, in which case we will promote
I'm
you.
down.
Give us
We're not-
money
we're
and
not.
we will promote gambling.
I'm not
Yeah,
down,
the
but
show
like if you're down.
show is running a bit late, so
No, we're good on
do you
time.
guys
We got a solid 10 more.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we can just keep talking about gambling.
Well,
No.
I thought the thing that was like super cool, kind of touched on a little bit, but like we didn't go into was like who, like I mean this week was kind of insane. Like it flipped GGS on its head, flipped CLG on its head, flipped 100 Thieves. Like 100 Thieves completed their like the rocket never stops bullshit. By the way, can we agree that shit is corny as fuck?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Did any
It's
like
pretty
as a
corny.
100 Thieves fan,
Corny.
not once did I see the rocket doesn't stop halfway and go like yeah, woo! Like that did not.
No.
I was not
No, I
inspired,
don't
but
like it.
Inspired?
Dude, what I don't know if like it originated because of this because they have Rocket Mortgage as a sponsor. Like I don't know if
wait,
I
that's
is
forgot.
so
in any way
funny.
related.
Like closer,
No, like I
closer
didn't.
looked up after they started winning scrims, and he was like, "Guys, the rocket doesn't stop halfway."
Please stop talking about the rockets. I can't.
No,
the rocket
because
and
like I
rocket
swear,
mortgage.
like I was like that was my first thought. I'm like, oh, this must be like some sponsored slogan bullshit
Dude, what if
where
it
they
is?
have to
It's
like
some
integrate
incepted
Rocket.
sponsorship.
Yeah,
It probably is.
exactly. And that's what I thought. And
That'd
I'm
be
like,
so
oh,
sad.
okay, that's like yeah, no, but when like no one else was talking about it, so I was like, oh, it probably isn't. And I'm like, wow, that is the worst thing I've ever heard.
The thing is,
Like,
based on like talking to them and seeing how they talk about it, I literally think that they genuinely say it. Like it's a little bit of a meme or whatever, but like I don't know, whatever. My point being, I thought it was kind of interesting we talked on like how these teams are. Who is good? Like who is going to win?
I have no idea.
And don't say C9.
I think
Don't say C9. Who's gonna win?
Okay. I got you, best then.
Don't say
my
Dignitas,
pick
John.
my pick. I'm not gonna say Dignitas. They're not even in playoffs yet.
True. 15-3.
Summer incoming. But my pick is EG from the lower bracket. They've
Let's
done a
go.
lower bracket run in
and actually,
spring. I know
That's
it's a
true,
different
that's
team, but this collapse was because they're sick, they're playing away from the team. But prior to that, everyone was like, yeah, EG's the second best team potentially. And I think that they can pull the upset against C9 if they're on.
I think 100 Thieves beats BO5 C9.
No, EG.
Wait, EG is facing the loser of 100 Thieves C9, right? Or no? It's CLG C9.
I think it's CLG
Yeah,
C9. I
CLG
think they beat
C9.
CLG.
It's CLG.
CLG. Okay, yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
how
think
is
they beat
C9 in the
CLG.
losers bracket? What is happening?
And no, I think they beat CLG, and I think they make it all the way and like can upset C9 potentially.
Okay.
Potentially.
Maya, who's your winner?
I also had EG. Like, okay, like I really like Golden Guardians, and I think like everyone's gonna expect me to say Golden Guardians, but I just like I don't see it. Like, here's the reason like why I don't, because like John has explained, I have much the same reason for seeing EG win the split. So I'll talk about why I think Golden Guardians will not. And like I think
Um,
the thing there is that like River has been figured out in large part, and he was like the sort of engine to their success, and also like Stixay just like turned into, like Gumayushi for like 3 weeks, and now he's not playing bad anymore, but he's like not playing like really cracked out of his mind. So I don't think they will like. That's why I don't really have that full faith in them. I think if I had to make a prediction outside of PG, I think like the second most likely is 100 Thieves. Here's a fun stat. whenever Doublelift makes playoffs, he
Oh my
never
goodness.
doesn't win finals, or like he's never finished lower than making finals at least whenever he
No,
makes playoffs. Obviously,
no,
like you have like the 2020 spring TL incident, but whenever
no.
he
I'm
makes
going like
playoffs,
a mega boomer. But when he was with CLG, they made playoffs and they
Yeah,
got
for
fifth.
sure.
They
Yeah,
got
yeah.
fifth. I
That
remember
can't be
he had
true.
to like he had to
Yeah,
reverse
I
sweep.
okay,
knew this could be true.
He had to reverse sweep just to keep them out of
Probably since he
relegation.
started winning.
wait,
Since he started
hold
winning,
up. Let
it's
me.
probably.
I made a note of this somewhere. I gotta take a look.
He also had this split
Um,
with the
yeah,
time when he
okay.
played
So
the new boys.
2015. So 2000, like after
Yes, he started
2015
winning.
spring, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when he
so
started winning.
2015, between 2015 summer and 2020 summer, every time he's made playoffs, he has won. And
Yeah.
like, here's something I will say about 100 Thieves. I really like the rookies on that team. I think everyone does. Like Tenacity and Busio are like the next Danny and JoJo of the LCS, and that they're just like everyone's young NA talent academy sweethearts. Um, but I am not a double F Pearson fan, like because I think that the way they play the game is very reminiscent of like the way I think it should not be played. Um, in that like they love to do this. All right, let's just sit around for 30 minutes. Eventually, we'll win the game. And I'm not a fan of that, but for some godforsaken reason, it seems to work without fail almost every time. And I think the only real contender to that is C9, and we can't pick C9, so 100 Thieves.
That's fair. I think we're coming up on time here. Andrea, if you want to pull us out.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you guys going to shout out, Arsh?
Um, yeah, shout out to LCS broadcast. I had a really fun time going to the LCS this week, like meeting everyone there. Everyone was super nice. The after party was great. So it was really great to like meet everyone, friends on the staff, and like also all my friends were there. So like just shout out to the experiences I had, I suppose. Everyone who I saw, probably none of whom are watching this, but it was fun to meet everybody, fun to hang out there, and the broadcast was great. So yeah.
John?
Yeah, shout out to once again, say I'm copy Arch a little bit. All the people that I got to meet at LCS yesterday. Special shout out to Numi for driving my girlfriend from Irvine, because otherwise she wouldn't have been able to get
Goat.
there. So yeah, thank you, Numi, and it was awesome just meeting everyone, meeting Delphi and Elaine for the first time. It was a lot of fun, even though I was like running on like no sleep.
Maya, do you want to shout out something?
I want to shout out, um, Licorice for Mikhail's blessing Scion, I guess. That was fun.
Yeah, that
Real.
was a fun one for sure. Okay. I want to shout out first of all. I want to start with a shout out to Angie, aka Numi. So I approached Numi last in the weekend because I was like really sad when CLG lost their games versus Dignitas and EG with a sub. Like, come on, bro. how are you doing this to me? So I was like super sad, and I just thought I wanted to do anything to cheer the players up, right? So I hit up Numi, and we were like brainstorming things to do. We didn't have a lot of time because we literally only had like half a week to do anything. So you eventually settled down to do flowers and letters, and she was like so nice. She handled everything, and I'm just really happy that she did that. And also shout out to CLG because they seemed like they really liked it, so I'm really happy that they like it. And shout out to CLD because they won their games. So instead of consolation flowers, they were actually celebration flowers. So thanks to them, I don't feel as bad. Yeah, I
You
just
got it
thought
for them as like, yeah, guys, sorry, like you're eliminated. It sucks. And you're
Yeah,
like, actually, no,
exactly.
these were good. I knew you'd make.
Yeah,
I had faith.
yeah. I had faith all this time, guys. I knew you were going to win, so I got you flowers. I hope you enjoy them. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was a really, really fun week for being a CLG fan, and I'm really happy that it ended that way. So shout out to CLG. Luger is in the thumbnail on this episode for some reason, so I guess shout out to Luger because he's awesome. I think he really liked the flowers, so I'm happy for that.
Well, shout out to
And
Dokla for hitting the gritty after eliminating the TL.
oh my god, yeah. Shout out to Fox because he's just so freaking cool. Honestly, all this team, I love this team so much. I don't think I will ever love a team as much as I love CLT. So yeah, there's that. Thank you everyone for coming to listen to our
Wait,
podcast. I'm really happy.
Shout outs for.
I did mine.
Wait, did Maya do a shout out?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did.
dude, I.
Shout out
I'm
Arsh,
like,
Arsh fell
You're-
asleep
you're
during
bugging,
the last
you're
2
bugging,
minutes.
bro.
guys, my. and it
It's
quickly.
okay, Arsh. We get it. We get it. We're all tired. So yeah, we're all tired. So that's how we're gonna leave. Thank you guys. See you the next week.